B2 for Dungeons and Dragons Basic Set. Dungeon Module B2, the Keep on the Borderlands by Gary Gygax. Introductory module for character levels 1 through 3. This module includes a cover folder with maps and a complete description booklet to form a ready-made scenario for Dungeons & Dragons Basic Set. It has been specifically designed for use by beginning Dungeon Masters so that they may begin play with a minimum of preparations. Within are many features to aid novice players and Dungeon Masters, legends and background information, a list of adventuring characters, tips on how to be an effective Dungeon Master, plus an interesting area for characters to base themselves in the Keep before setting out to explore the Caves of Chaos. If you enjoy this module, look for more releases in the D&D family from TSR, the Game Wizards. Lock. There's a typo. Copyright 1980, 1981. TSR Hobbies Incorporated. All rights reserved. Dungeons & Dragons and D&D are registered trademarks owned by TSR Hobbies Incorporated. TSR, the Game Wizards. 1980, TSR Hobbies Incorporated. All rights reserved. TSR Hobbies Incorporated. POB 756, Lake Geneva, Wisconsin 53147. Printed in USA. Special Instruction Module 9034. Dungeon Module B2, the Keep on the Borderlands by Gary Gygax. Introductory module for character levels 1 to 3. This module includes a cover folder with maps and a complete description booklet to form a ready-made scenario for Dungeons & Dragons Basic Set. It has been specially designed for use by beginning Dungeon Masters so that they may begin play with a minimum of preparations. Within are many features to aid novice players and Dungeon Masters. It actually says Dungeon Musters. Legends, history, and background information, a list of adventuring characters, tips on how to be an effective Dungeon Master, plus on interest, it says ON instead of AN, plus an interesting area for characters to base themselves in the Keep before setting out to explore the Caves of Chaos. If you enjoy this module, look for more releases in the D&D family from TSR. It says the Goom Wizards. There's already been 7 typos on this thing. And this is a professional product. Distributed to the book trade in the United States by Random House Incorporated and in Canada by Random House of Canada Limited. Distributed to the toy and hobby trade by regional distributors. Copyright 1981 by TSR Hobbies Incorporated. All rights reserved. Dungeons & Dragons and D&D are registered trademarks owned by TSR Hobbies Incorporated. Okay. Special Instruction Module. Dungeons & Dragons. Dungeon Module number B2. The Keep on the Borderlands. Introduction. Welcome to the land of imagination. You are about to begin a journey into worlds where magic and monsters are the order of the day, where law and chaos are forever at odds, where adventure and heroism are the meat and drink of all who would seek their fortunes in uncommon pursuits. This is the realm of Dungeons & Dragons adventure game. If you plan to play in this module and participate in the fun of adventuring, stop reading now. The information in the rest of the module is for your Dungeon Master or DM so that he or she may guide you and other players through a thrilling adventure. Knowing too much about the contents of this module will spoil the surprises and excitement of the game. Dungeon Masters, if many copies of this module are available to the players, you may wish to alter sections of the Keep and the Caves of Chaos. If you do this, you will be sure to have new surprises for players who might be familiar with some of the contents of the module. You are not entering this world in the usual manner, for you are setting forth to be a Dungeon Master. Certainly there are stout fighters, mighty magic users, wily thieves, and courageous clerics who will make their mark in the magical lands of D&D adventure. You, however, are above even the greatest of these, for as DM, you are to become the shaper of the cosmos. It is you who will give form and content to all the universe. You will breathe life into the stillness, giving meaning and purpose to all the actions which are to follow. The others in your group will assume the roles of individuals and play their parts, but each can only perform within the bounds you will set. It is now up to you to create a magical realm filled with danger, mystery, and excitement, complete with countless challenges. Though your role is the greatest, it is also the most difficult. You must now prepare to become all things to all people. Notes for the Dungeon Master. The basic instruction book for Dungeons & Dragons game has given you the information necessary to understand this game and start play. This module is another tool. It is a scenario or setting which will help you to understand the fine art of being a Dungeon Master as you introduce your group of players to your own fantasy world, your interpretation of the many worlds of Dungeons & Dragons adventure. The Keep on the Borderlands is simply offered for your use as a way to move smoothly and rapidly into your own special continuing adventures or campaigns. Read the module thoroughly. You will notice that the details are left in your hands. This allows you to personalize the scenario and suit it to what you and your players will find most enjoyable. Note: several words in the following text will be followed by an asterisk. This means that the word will be explained in the glossary at the end of this module. This module has been designed to allow 6 to 9 characters of first level to play out many adventures, gradually working up to second or third level of experience in the process. The group is assumed to have at least one magic user and one cleric in it. If you have fewer than 6 players, be sure to arrange for them to get both advice and help in the keep. For example, they should have advice from a friendly individual to stay near the beginning of the ravine area and enter the lower caves first, to avoid their getting into immediate trouble with higher level monsters. Likewise, the services of several men-at-arms must be available to smaller parties. If only 2 or 3 player characters are to adventure, be sure to have a non-player character or 2 to go along, as well as a few men-at-arms. In addition, give the player characters a magic dagger or some magic arrows and at least 1 potion of healing. Family bequests to aid them in finding their fame and fortune when they go against chaos. The DM should be careful to give the player characters a reasonable chance to survive. If your players tend to be rash and unthinking, it might be better to allow them to have a few men-at-arms accompany them, even if the party is large, and they don't attempt to hire such mercenaries. Hopefully, they will quickly learn that the monsters here will work together and attack intelligently, if able. If this lesson is not learned, all that can be done is to allow the chips to fall where they may. Dead characters cannot be brought back to life here. Using the keep as home base, your players should be able to have quite a number of adventures, playing sessions, before they have exhausted all the possibilities of the Caves of Chaos map. Assuming that they have played well, their player characters will certainly have advanced a level or two in experience when the last minion of darkness falls before their might. While your players will have advanced in their understanding and ability, you will likewise have increased your skills as DM. In fact, before they have finished all the adventure areas of this module, it is likely that you will have begun to add your own separate maps to the setting. The keep is only a small section of the world. You must build the towns and terrain which surround it. You must shape the societies, create the kingdoms, and populate the countryside with men and monsters. The keep is a microcosm, a world in miniature. Within its walls, your players will find what is basically a small village with a social order and will meet opponents of a sort. Outside lies the way to the Caves of Chaos. Where monsters abound. As you build the campaign setting, you can use this module as a guide. Humankind and its allies have established strongholds, whether fortresses or organized countries, where the player's characters will base themselves, interact with the society, and occasionally encounter foes of one sort or another. Surrounding these strongholds are lands which may be hostile to the bold adventurers. Perhaps there are areas of wilderness filled with dangerous creatures, or maybe the neighboring area is a land where chaos and evil rule. For wilderness adventures, see Dungeons & Dragons Expert Set. There are natural obstacles to consider, such as mountains, marshes, deserts, and seas. There can also be magical barriers, protections, and portals. Anything you can imagine could be part of your world if you so desire. The challenge to your imagination is to make a world which will bring the ultimate in fabulous and fantastic adventure to your players, a world which they may believe in. Because it's hard to believe in the real one. Note, for your convenience, whenever a monster or non-player character, NPC, is described in the text, the details will be listed in the following order. Name, armor class, class/level, or hit dice, hit points, number of attacks per round, damage per attack, movement per round, save as class and level, morale. Armor class equals AC, class cleric equals C, fighter equals F, magic user equals M or MU, thief equals T, dwarf equals D, elf equals E, halfling equals H, normal man, level 0 or NM, level equals number, hit dice equals HD, hit points equals HP, number of attacks equals number AT, damage equals D, movement equals MV, save equals save, morale equals ML. Class level is only used for non-player characters, NPCs, while hit dice is used for all other monsters. Movement in a game turn is 3 times the movement given for one combat round. NPCs save at the same level as their class level of experience. Okay. Examples. Taverner, AC 9, level 0, HP 6, number of attacks 1, D 1 through 6, morale 8. Guard, AC 4, fighter 1, HP 7, number of attacks 1, D 1 through 6, ML, morale 10. Kobold, AC 7, HD version 2, V2, HP 3, number of attacks 1, damage 1 to 4, movement 40 feet, save normal man, morale 6. Number of attacks 1/2 indicates that the player may only attack once every 2 rounds. An asterisk after hit dice indicates an experience point bonus. An asterisk after hit dice indicates an experience point bonus. 2 asterisks after hit dice indicates double the normal experience point bonus. Determining armor class. Armor class 9, type of armor, none. Armor class 8, shield only. 7, leather. 6, leather and shield. 5, chainmail. 4, chainmail and shield. 3, plate mail. 2, plate mail and shield. 1, plate mail and magic shield +1 or other combinations.